So today my process video is for a YouTube hop by Sarah Scraps. It's called September School. A group of us will be showing you our back to school process videos. Mine is going to be a 2-page layout, and it's going to span my daughter's elementary career from kindergarten through 8th grade. At the end of 8th grade, the office gave us these pictures. They're 1.5 by 2 3/4. They kept them in the office for various things that they needed, and at the end of the year, 8th grade, they give them to the parents. So I've had these things kicking around for about 4 years on my desk, and I wanted to get them scrapped. So I went into my stash, and the only back to school paper I have is Simple Stories, Smarty Pantz, which is here. And funny thing is, I just got it actually a couple months ago. And I knew I wanted to put pencils on my 2-page layout, and I knew I wanted a border, and I thought, a banner, I'm sorry, and that's what I'm showing you there. And I thought that I'd want my pictures, I knew I wanted stitching, and I would stitch from the banner to the pictures. Here I'm showing you my pencils I'm going to put down at the bottom, and then I'm thinking I'm going to put that notebook paper on top of the pencils peeking through, and I was going to use my notebook punch to add some more texture. And then as I looked at the Simple Stories, I thought, oh wow, that'd be really cool, that plaid on top, because it's really colorful. As I went and I knew I wanted to stitch, so here I am showing you my stencil that I'm going to use. It's So Easy template by We Are Memory Keepers, and there's some arrows on there, which I'm looking for right now. Can't find them. There they are. So these are the arrows that I'm going to stitch. But before I committed to stitching these, I kind of wanted to lay it out and see if I liked it on my page. So what I did is I took some scratch paper and I cut out these arrows really quick, because I'm crazy that way. I have to do that. I have to see it to make sure I like it. So I laid those out. And then I went and I looked at the cut apart sheet, and I found this When's Recess, and I thought that would be cool to put in the middle of the 2 pages, and then I'll cut down the middle, and it'll span both pages. And then I also found a different banner instead of that border, the plaid banner that I was going to do. I actually found flags that I'm going to use on my layout, which I'll show you in a minute here. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe I could stamp on the pencils as well, because, you know, when you're in elementary school and you get the pencils for every holiday and they say funny stuff on them or have inspiration on them, I thought I could stamp on the pencils. I thought that would be a neat idea. And then I found some 1 canoe, 2 canoe, some of these butterflies that I used a whole sheet up, and then this is all I have left. And I thought that I could get these used up, so I would start at the kindergarten picture and then go through the layout until I reached 8th grade with a larger butterfly. So that's my process, and I will be back in a jiff with the final layout. Excited to share with you. I'm going to go over what changed from the beginning of my process to the final, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you some of my stitching tools and some pages that I have stitched on in the past, and then in the comments below I'm going to leave the YouTube video for a video that I watched to learn how to do the chain stitch. But so here's my layout, and I was able to stitch the 5 colors going throughout the layout, which added a lot of texture. This is, instead of using that plaid, this is the banner that I found. That it says School Days, and it had some faux stitching on it, printed on it, and I thought I'm going to try my hand at chain stitching. And I started obviously on this page, the first page, and as you can see, it was kind of loose. But as I worked on it, then I tightened it up, and I realized that, you know, you have to be consistent in your tension on the stitching. I also wallpapered this on a piece of paper that I don't use that color pink, so anytime I get a paper pad with that color pink on, I use it as wallpaper. One tip, make sure before you wallpaper that your papers are 12 by 12. Make sure you trim them down. This was the notebook paper that I was going to put down here. And I don't know why I was going to put it down there. I put it up here because obviously that's where the notebook paper belongs, on top or on the side in my mind. And I did not use my notebook paper punch to punch it out. I still can go back and do that here. And no, I can't do this because this is stuck down. But if I wanted to do it on top, I could, to add texture. So I have my stitching, my butterflies, which look awesome. And I tried to stamp, like I said, on here, and the ink bled through on the paper. So I just covered it up like with labels, make it count. This is just an arrow that I used. This is do what you love, hello, and then just another arrow. So I'm very happy that I've gotten these scrapped, and I love the progression. My family kept looking at them because it's so fun to just see her from kindergarten all the way to 8th grade. So that is my process. And then I wanted to share with you some of my stitching tools that I use and some layouts that I have created with some of the stitching in. So a good piercing mat is important so you don't pierce through your layout and onto your table and damage your table. This is the one that I use. It's nice and thick. Amy Tangerine made a little stitching kit in the past, which her mat is really thin, and I only use that when I'm going on a crop and I don't have enough room to pack that pink mat that I just showed you. Her kit also came with a stencil, and it came with a pokey tool, some thread, and some needles. And I do like this pokey tool to take on a crop as well, because it's little, it's compact. What I use at home is this We Are Memory Keepers. So there's the piercing end of it, and it has a dual purpose. This end is sticky and picks up sequins. So just purchased that a couple months ago. I like that. This if you don't want to buy that, or you don't have it, you can't find it, a thumbtack will always work. Anything sharp to pierce a hole into your paper. So I also have some stencils. These are the first stencils that I bought, and I bought these a while ago. These are from Basil, and these are border ones. They don't make these anymore. If anybody knows where I can find different ones, please let me know. I would appreciate it, because I find these Basil ones work the best. And I have some flourishes as well, and floral. And those are the only ones that I have made by Basil. And then I was doing a circle layout, which I'll show you, and I needed a stencil, so I made one myself. I just did the circle, and then I poked holes in it, and I just keep it now, because if I want to, you know, have a circle, a larger circle, I have it. It's done. These were from Stamp It Up. They were a free gift. They have different things on, circle, there's a floral, and like that's the border, some tags. I have not used these, but they are in my stash. Then the So Easy templates. These are just, I like these as well. You know, they have different icon pictures, I guess, like butterflies, the fox. This one I use a lot. I've done the florals, I've done the corners, I've used the arrows. This one I have not used that much. This is a holiday one, so snowflakes, fall, Valentine's, St. Patrick's. So there's that one. And this one's cool. If you want to stitch words on your paper, I have that one as well. I found that like I said though, the best one that I have is the basil. This is also from We Are Memory Keepers. And so basically these attach to the handle, and then you run them across your paper, put the piercing mat underneath, and then these little nubs poke the holes in your paper really quick, so then you can stitch. And I have, you know, the different stitch attachments. Those are like little banners. These are little daisies. I don't know if you can see them. This reminds me of the ER, like the heart rate. And then this is just a cross stitch. Cross stitch is easy, but if you want to be quick with a border, that'll save you time, because you're just going down the page and then the holes are created for you. And then I just wanted to share a few of my layouts that I did some stitching on. So this is why I made that circle template. If I were to do it again, I would do a chain stitch, and I would do this in black. I was trying to match the taupe over here. Hindsight 2020, I probably will not redo it again, because I do like what's going on with the page. And then I have another circle here and one there. So if I use that template again, I definitely will do the chain stitch. This one I used the border, and I used that double because I wanted to make it look like the baseball. And on the sides I only used half of the border, and on the top and on the bottom I used the whole border. I like the way this one came out. I like the way it brought it all in as baseball. Let's see. This one, these letters came like this. I did not stitch the letters, but it's an awesome idea. I stitched on the second border. I don't know if you can see it. It's dark here. But all around the page. And then I used that floral, which now I'm looking at this. What would be cool is if I did a whole circle of those in different colors. And then I could have like a wreath of the stitching florals, which I might do that. And then this one, this is just a simple cross stitch. And I got the idea. I bought a bunch of magazines with cross stitching in them because I was going to try and incorporate those on my pages. So I received this grid and I thought, oh, this will be great. I'll do one of those cross stitches on there. The only problem is this grid is so large. I would need a huge piece of scrapbooking paper for anything to fit. So I decided just to do the chevron border, which was in the book, and it was on a towel, like a wash towel. But I thought this was really cool because this was supposed to be camo for a homecoming football game for my daughters, and this is for friends. But this took about 6 hours, and I love the way it came out. I don't have a lot going on in this page, but this does add the texture. And then I have some photos, you know, that I was able to put on the tags and my journaling. And then I was able to bring this thread in with the stitching. So I hope you enjoyed my process video. And if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. I check them every 24, 48 hours, and I will reply. Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.